I just think it's hard as a progressive to know how to navigate the waters in this political landscape. There might be something that you want to do, but you might not know how to go about it. And that's something that I face a lot. There's a lot of issues that I'm interested in, but I don't even know where to start. And so I think a news outlet like this could help with something like that.
Absolutely. I would also like to say that even when the voters show and exercise their power, which we saw here in Nevada with the recall elections, whether or not you agree with the legitimacy of those, the voters were coming out to sign a petition to start a recall election, and then one of the parties was shaming them and saying, "How dare you do this? This is a sham." Mm-hmm. But these are actual voters who are signing a petition for something to believe in. Whether or not I agree with them, we're shaming people who are trying to exercise their power as a voter, and that's creating this culture of just oh, you don't agree with me? Well, shame, something like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we see that very often amongst the party that claims to be the Big Ten party. Mm-hmm. Seems to be very often the party of shaming people who disagree with them. I mean, the Republicans, just call you a sinner and say that you're destined for a lake of hellfire. But if you don't agree with the sort of the right wing Tea Party view of Bible before Constitution, but the Dems have gotten really good at shaming people for not agreeing with them. And I think you have an excellent point. I mean, yeah, we saw that there was a huge amount of misinformation with regard to the recall election. Mm-hmm. And instead of filling in that void and educating people as to why they were being misinformed, or not even saying you're being misinformed, but providing them with accurate information. Instead, they're like, no, if you sign this, you're a bad person. Yeah. And I think one of the ways that Progressive Voice can be of use to our viewers, or the viewers that choose to log in and see what we're providing, is the ability to get information. So there's this recall election, which is now dead, but there's this recall election that's happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, why does this side say it's happening? Is there validity to that? And if you agree that there's validity to that, then act on your conscience. If you don't believe that there's validity to that, then act on your conscience, but at least act.
Mm-hmm. Sure. It's an interesting concept because from what I understand, two parts, they didn't really have a reason. They tried their best to make a reason, yeah. And it was oh, that doesn't really stick. But the second part is in the state of Nevada, you don't need a reason to start a recall petition.
Right.
So, and you can go right to the Secretary of State and start it up with just 3 people signing it, and that's it. You don't need a legitimate reason. So that's where it's weird. Does it morally, or should we be allowed to do that? I think yes, because it's our right as a voter body, to say I don't want this person in office anymore.
Sure, I mean, and there should be a mechanism. There should be a mechanism that when people are not, if in fact the truth is that people are not doing their job, mm-hmm. We have a mechanism for removing people who are elected and are not doing their job, and first and foremost that mechanism is an election. But even in the state of Nevada, at any rate, there are other mechanisms that the people can avail themselves of. Unfortunately, it's more often the parties that are availing themselves of those mechanisms as opposed to people. Mm-hmm. And I think, getting back to the idea with what Progressive Voice can do, mm-hmm. is, as we have more segments to come and more informational content as we go along, to make sure that people know what they have the power to do in the state of Nevada.
Absolutely.
To make sure that their elected officials are representing them, as opposed to elected officials getting elected so that they can represent their own agendas. Mm-hmm.